welcome back to Alchemy with Zero Phase. This is Eric, and in this video I want to go back to talking about stability matrix. I've done a video on it a while ago. They've made a significant number of changes that I felt it was important to bring this up, show people again why this software is important, especially when you're dealing with multiple image generation packages. Go over some of the changes, improvements, the features, walk you through how to do an install of a image generation package, and really how it helps your workflow and helps you organize things. So we'll also touch on Automatic 1111 Forge Edition. I've had enough people question me about certain things like why do you have those samplers? Why can't I find those samplers? Along with some other things. So we'll go through that and just do a nice little video tutorial on how to kind of set things up as well for quicker and more efficient use. So just on a quick side note for those using my Platinum, Zero Gen Platinum prompt generator, we've implemented some changes in regards to the pre and post prompt options, allowing you to add options in that you would like to include with the request when you hit the submit button. So go ahead and play around with those. For those of you who don't know, Zero Gen Platinum or just Zero Gen in general is my online prompt forge is what I like to call it. Giving people the ability to find inspiration, have really refined control over their prompts as they work with them, generating multiple prompts at the same time. If you haven't checked it out, you can check out the free version, which allows you to generate one prompt about every 45 seconds or 60 seconds or so. They're not watered down prompts. You can select between the different prompt generators that I have set up. If you want to try Zero Gen, I believe we do a free 3-day trial, so give it a try. So back to Stability Matrix. It's produced by a group called Lycos. It is free. They have a GitHub. You download it, okay? And when you go to install it, just install it to whatever drive you're going to be storing your images on, and just make sure you have a drive with a lot of space. Okay? It's pretty simple, really easy to install. Just install it, and it takes care of everything else. It'll take care of like all the requirements for different packages, the different image generation packages. And when I say that, I mean things like the Python and other prerequisites that you have to have installed for a lot of these image generation packages to work. Okay, so I'll include links to this site in the description. And let's jump over to Stability Matrix here. I'll show you what we're looking at. So this is kind of the general interface. Right now I'm under settings, but if we come up here, go to packages. Currently I have ComfiUI installed. Working on getting rid of this one here. I think this is one I like copied into the directory, so it doesn't know how to uninstall it, so I'm just going to delete that. And then this is the one I currently use, Stable Diffusion Web UI Forge. They give you a lot of really cool options in being able to stop, restart. You can go right to the console so you can kind of see what's going on here. It's tree based, so you come up here and you can just jump right back to the packages view right here. They've kind of changed some stuff, so it's streamlined this side panel, which you can shrink down. And you can add packages. They give you quite a range of different packages to install, and it's very easy. It's just one click, giving you some sample images of what that may look like. There's a few different versions of Foocus. You have the basic. Oh, yeah, they have the new Stable Swarm UI, which I want to try. I've heard some good things about that. And ComfiUI and the basic Stable Diffusion Web UI as well. They do keep these updated. They come out with updates. It's interesting. They've really pushed a lot of updates through this since I started using it. I believe they're pushing updates about, I don't know, I want to say it's at least once or twice a week on this. I mean, sometimes there's a pause, but overall they are on top of this. So we're going to go through just the rest of the interface on this. I want to show this, and then we're going to go through installing. I want to install Foocus. A lot of people tell me to try it out. I don't remember. I may have tried it out a long time ago. So that's the packages menu. There's some other things in here on like somebody was telling me about One Trainer. I'm going to jump into that because I did a tutorial video on generating consistent characters, and they said you should take that and generate or train Laura's doing that and do a tutorial on it. So I may actually do that once I get in here and figure out how to use One Trainer. So that's the packages menu. Inference, I haven't really used this a lot. I'm not entirely sure what this is about. I think it's just their thing built into the stability matrix, allows you to generate your own images through here without using any specific package. It allows you to centrally control your checkpoints. So all checkpoints are stored in a central location. There's no duplication. I'm not sure. I think they're using virtual links in the directories to be able to link them. So your packages are all using the same source directory for models, well, for your checkpoints, for your LoRa's, for, like if we shrink these up, you can kind of see what they are controlling here. So as you can see, we have A detailers, different models for A detailer, ControlNet, preprocessor, deform, hypernetworks, and Insight LoRa's, stable diffusion models. This is where all my models are. It's nice because it creates an accordion view for the subdirectories in the model directory. I like to kind of try and keep them organized by the type of model, whether 1.5, 2.1, the in-painting models, SDXL, turbos, lightning, and all that. So it's just another way to organize it. I have an old directory I got to get rid of. I believe this is another one that I need to kind of organize. So the way this works is if you already have a model, let's say you download a model in your downloads directory and you have this open, you can actually just drag and drop the model into whatever category it needs to be organized in. You just drag and drop it here. Now, if you, let's say you copy the model from, say, your downloads directory into the actual models directory, and it doesn't link it. So let me show you here. Let's go ahead and pull up SDXL. As you can see, all these models I have in here have a cloud symbol next to them, meaning they've been linked. Okay. This allows it to track if there's updates to the model, and will allow you to stay on, up to the latest version, and it gives it the information it needs down here, so you can see what kind of model it is. But up here at the top, you see where it says Find Connected Metadata. This, when you click this, what it does is it reaches out to Civit AI and Hugging Face, and it actually links and tracks that information for you so that you're able to stay on top of that. The model browser, this is what makes this software really shine. They've got it tied into Civit AI and Hugging Face. And by doing that, they allow you to search by tags, by users, by the model name. You can filter by newest, most downloaded. You have a lot of different options for being able to filter this. So you can actually go through and look at the models they offer on the website. And you can actually import them right from here. You come in here, you find one. So this one says it's installed. If there was an update, it would actually say there's an update. You could come in here and actually import the update. You can delete the model off here. It's a full-on manager of your models. Okay, even allows you to view the NSFW, not safe for work content that they have. Very easy to use, very simplistic, and very informative. Easy to use. I don't go to the Hugging Face Hugging Face interface very often. Theirs is just a little different. I honestly prefer the Civit AI. I love how they interface. It just works better. Your output browser is a way of being able to manage images. Now, they do. I believe they do have a way of moving the images to your shared output folder, but they also give you the ability to view the images directly here in a browser that you've already generated. So you're not having to, how do you say this, burrow down into the folder structure on your computer, drilling down into the directories there to find it. And some of you may have shortcuts set up, others maybe not, I don't know. But this gives you a great way of managing your images. So this is a great feature to be able to explore your images and organize them. There may be some better, some, how do I put this, features that are not quite available in the way of sorting, filtering, that kind of thing. But at least it gives you some place to kind of go to and start working with it. So it's a great little way to do that. They have this new thing, workflows. Now, I am not entirely sure. I think this is something designed for ComfiUI and their workflows they use, the spaghetti workflows. So this is something that if you use ComfiUI, you may want to jump in here and take a look at and see if it's something. Let's see, for example, tutorial. Oh, maybe they're video tutorials by other people. Oh, no, they are workflows. Okay, yeah. So again, ComfiUI users, great way to come in and be able to search for other people's workflows. So I don't have any installed, obviously, because I don't mess with this. Now, I believe that, let's take a look at the checkpoints here. I want to say, let's come up here. Nodes. So that you can actually pick what you want to see, what categories you want to see. And I'm kind of curious if, and I may have to jump into ComfiUI to figure this out, but if they now help you organize like the nodes or the for ComfiUI, because that was one of my frustrations with ComfiUI is ensuring that you had all the extensions or nodes installed that you needed in order to be able to even use somebody's workflow. It became very frustrating, so I may have to look into that. Okay, so that's those things. Now under settings, they give you a lot of options like being able to tie into your Lycos account if you have one, or Patreon for them, but also more specifically the Civet AI, and that's what allows you to actually download and manage that. So very cool stuff. Setting up environment variables, themes, and just a lot of other things, including being able to see what your system actually has in it in the way of your CPU, memory, and video card. Very cool stuff. Okay. So yeah, let's go through the process of installing Foocus. So let's come up here, go over to Inference here. We're going to go down to Foocus. We're going to select that. Now, what's cool about this is they give you access to the advanced options here, what you want it to be installed as, like whether it's going to use CPU, CUDA, or whatever else, depending on what you're installing. They give you access to the different branches, the main branch, the development branch, or previous versions, which I think is awesome. A lot of people, I think this is a big issue with the original web UI, is if you updated it and it just happened to break your installation, like going back to a different version was very frustrating. So if there's a specific version you wanted to install and just maintain, you can do that. Okay. So we're just going to stick with main branch. Click install. And it'll just kick off and start the process of installing, downloading the packages, running the installs, installing any necessary requirements, and we'll see how long this takes. Okay, so that really didn't take very long. It was just a few minutes going through doing the basic install. My guess is that once I launch, what it's going to do is it may end up downloading some more models, but what it does is it drops into the packages view here, so you can see what you have installed, what's running. So right now, obviously, I have the WebUI Forge edition running. I'm going to stop that just for a minute, and we're going to launch Foocus here to see what else it does. So it drops you to the console, so you can actually watch the process of it loading up. And yeah, as you can see, it's hitting a few things that it needs to download and install. This may not take too long here, but let's see what it does, and I'll come back. Yeah, that didn't take long at all. There was just a few little things that it downloaded, and then actually automatically brings up the interface for Foocus. Now, it's been a while. I'm assuming this is why people love it. It's supposedly very simple. Let's just do a quick test here. Let's just generate a prompt. let's just one prompt, and I'm not going to do any of this here. Let's just generate one thing. Copy that. Let's go over to Foocus. Drop that in there. Now, I don't know, maybe somebody can help me out in the comments here. Does Foocus utilize the emphasis formatting like what Automatic 1111 does? If not, it probably just ignores it. So let's just generate here. So it's loading the model, and it's kind of cool. It does the live preview. Didn't do the spectacle, like it doesn't have spectacles, but it has the bow tie, which is cool. Oh, there's, oh, that one almost had the glasses. Let's do a prompt without the emphasis formatting real quick. Just I want to see if it doesn't need that. So this is a charcoal drawing, intricate mechanical drag and creation, diagonal composition, cogs and gears. Okay, so let's jump back over. Drop that one in. Seems pretty quick. It's nice and simple. I'd have to jump into the advanced settings to see what's going on there. Yeah, there's the cogs, mechanical dragon. That's pretty cool. Oh, they got lightning option for faster rendering. Let's go all the way up to 1024 by 1024, like how they have the aspect ratios. That's very cool. Let's see what, so it's downloading the lightning components, whatever that means. So that means on the back end, it's probably grabbing some things, loading one new model. Yeah, cool. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I'll have to play around with that. A lot of people love Foocus. I love how easy it is. I love a lot of the sophistication and options that are offered in the Forge edition. But yeah, very cool. So that's very easily like how you would get a package installed, and allows you to manage it. So you can come over here. Let's say I don't want to be running that one. I want to be running my Forge edition. So we just launch that one and it comes up. So this is a good point to kind of segue into the Web UI Forge edition of Automatic 1111. I don't know if I should be calling it Automatic 1111. I know a lot of people still do. I really should be calling it Web UI Forge edition. So it's based off of the original Web UI from Automatic 1111. But what they've done is they've gone through and streamlined the back end considerably. Now, there are a few other videos that I will link to discussing this, but the improvements they've made in this allow for much faster generations. It handles model swapping a lot more effectively, and can actually provide upwards of like 75% increase in rendering speeds. It also handles VRAM a lot better. And what I've heard, and I've not been able to test this myself because I don't have a card, is it allows you to use cards with as little as 4 gigabytes of VRAM. So, now one of the things that's nice about this is it does give you access to the startup options of this as well, where you can go through and customize the different options to either try and help improve, or if you have specific situations that may require certain settings, and allows you to do the custom other options here in the actual command line if you want. I do have mine set up for an authorization since I do access it from outside my local network, and I obviously am not going to put my real username and password in here, but it does give you a lot of options that way. Okay, so now that we've got Forge up and going, we're going to come in over here. We're going to refresh the page since we stopped it and started it. And once I've logged in, I do put my username and password in to get into it. Then you're presented with, the pretty standard Web UI interface for Automatic 1111. There are several changes when it came to like workflow, layout, that really kind of helps the Forge edition stand out. I've got some plugins to really help me and what I do. One of those is the config presets, being able to have preset settings for doing very specific things. It's nice not having to go through and screw around with all these settings each time. I just select that, and you can actually go in and update those as well. Want you to change the settings over here however you want. Come over here and hit save. Put a new title in if you want to create a new one. Very cool feature. Config presets is an extension, so it doesn't come with this. What does is you get things like ControlNet integrated. Anything that says integrated is basically they've decided that just needs to be included with their version of the web UI. And this is something that a lot of people have asked me about, is a lot of the preprocessors and other things that normally you would have to kind of integrate yourself, figure out where to copy them into folders. And they've decided that they're just going to keep this updated themselves. And it's so nice not having to worry about, when you select Canny, for instance, it just automatically selects the preprocessor of the model. Gives you the option to do the inverted white background versus black background, and gives you all the other options down here. And I think by default it automatically has it set for three different ControlNet units. You have ControlNet 0 through 2. That's just kind of how they number them. So you have ControlNet unit 0, 1, and 2. Now, really the biggest feature in this is how it loads and maintains the models in memory so that it is able to switch between them quicker and render faster. And just as an example, let's grab that prompt one more time here. Let's throw this in here. Set up as portrait, that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and render out, let's say, 4 of these images. And I am using a lightning model, so I'm down to 6 steps with a config scale of 2. We're just going to hit generate on that, and you'll kind of see how fast, at least on my system, it's generating 4 different images. These are at 1024 or 576 by 1024, and it does a pretty good job. Again, very quick. You can do some of these lightning models you can do down as low as 2 to 4 steps. The more steps you give it, a little bit more detailed. You kind of have a point where you're a point of diminishing results. But I usually stick to 6 to 10. 6 if I'm just looking to get something really quick. So one of the things that people ask about are the samplers. The Forge Edition comes with a couple of new samplers that are titled Turbo at the end, and these do actually work and help out when you're dealing with Lightning or Turbo models. There's a whole ton of different samplers. I don't use hardly any of them other than the Turbos now, but I do sometimes go back to Euler A. You just get kind of spoiled with how fast those Lightning models generate images. And you have all your standard stuff. The textual inversions, hypernetwork, your LoRa's, if you got LoRa's you want to integrate. It does handle things like the extensions, only minorly different when you're dealing with the stability matrix interface for managing your packages. So normally when you come to your extensions, you would have a apply and restart, I think here. The way Stability Matrix handles it, it replaces it and puts a apply and quit. It wants you to be the one to restart it after it gets done applying any updates. But everything else is pretty standard. Check for updates, looking for available extensions that maybe you want to try out. It's all handled the same way. And as well as installing from URL. So, that's pretty much it. Again, if you're not using Web UI Forge, you really need to be trying it out. If you're one of those people like me that loves Automatic 11.11, it is a game changer. Once I moved over to it, got my models integrated, I did not go back. I could not go back. I tried a couple times. I went back to it in the process of transitioning, and it was just tedious having to go back to that interface and deal with how slow everything was. So very cool. Everything works as far as I can tell. I've not run into any major issues. Nothing that I wouldn't have already had in the other Web UI interface, the older Automatic 11.11. So if you like this video, want to see more, definitely like, subscribe to my channel. If you're curious about Zero Gen, go ahead and give the free light edition a try. Just come in here, you put in your request. You don't even have to put in a request. Just hit submit, and it'll generate a prompt for you. You have access to all my different prompt generators. So if you're using Midjourney, DALL-E, Leonardo, you have access to those as well. So appreciate everybody watching and listening. I hope this was beneficial, and I hope you learned something, and we'll talk to y'all later.